So today we're going to have some fun and use a techno sample pack that I made about a month or 2 months ago. And basically it's full of drum loops and drum hits, and it's got a lot of bass loops and stabs and effects and things like that. And it was inspired by the likes of Blawan and Randomer and Karen and just all these producers that are using quite gritty sounds, which often influence my electro sound. So I'm quite influenced by these guys that are doing techno, and I take that into my electro as well. But we're not going to make electro today. We're actually going to make techno, which is one of my original loves in music, and still is actually. I've just got very much into electro recently, but I still love my techno. So it'd be quite nice today to just make something in that genre. So what I'm going to do then is just quickly show you the pack. I've uploaded it to the Digitakt, and when you get a hold of this pack, it's got a load of different formats. So it's got it in different sample rates and bit rates for different DAWs. Sorry, not different DAWs, but just the way you've got the DAW set up, and also different machines as well. So just to make it easier for uploading them, to make sure they are the best quality. So if I go in to track 1 and we go down and select a slot, sample slot, and then we'll go down again, and we'll go into the Raw Techno. So you can see here, this is the 16-bit 48 kilohertz stereo version, which is ready-made for the Digitakt II. And then maybe we'll just take a look at some drum loops first. So we've got the drum loops, but then we can also get drum separates. So drum separate loops and also drum hits as well. Today, we're probably going to use the drum hits, but just to give you an idea of the flavors you can get from this pack, here's some drum loops. So let's have a listen to these. So, very punchy, very weighty loops. Kind of inspired by the likes of Dense Pika as well. So, actually, in these loops, there's a lot of kind of claps as well, which is also that kind of vibe that I'm going for, the Dense Pika vibe. But you don't have to use these loops, you can go in to the hits themselves. So if we go drum one shots, go to kicks. So a lot of these kicks, they've been processed with tube distortion, analog saturators, the auto boom, also kind of using like vinyl distortion and things like that to kind of layer stuff up. And then if we go into melodics, got loads of melodic sequences as well. My favorite part of this pack, apart from the drum loops and the drum one shots, they're the main things for me. The other thing that I really enjoy working with is the textures. So we've got these Perc and texture loops, which can be great for techno. So just little weird things like that, and you can chop that up in the Digitakt and rearrange it as well. Add some effects to it. So we've got stuff like that, just like these really nice groove loops. So I think what we'll do is like that one's pretty cool. I think what we'll do is we'll leave it there for that. We could go through all of the sounds, but we're not going to do that today. We're kind of just going to explore it as we go and build up a drum kit, then maybe add some texture loops, maybe a bass loop, or we'll kind of chop a bass loop up. And I've not planned out exactly what I'm going to do. Kind of just see where it takes us in this session. So let's go to the drum one shots first. And I'm going to choose a kick. So let's have a listen to all the kicks. I want something quite heavy. 17's quite nice. Very nice. And 18. But there's one in here. That one there. That's just such a big, fat, like, Dense Pika style kick. And that one as well. Those two just really remind me of Dense Pika. So I don't know, we could go for something soft like this, or we can go for something really punchy and up front. I think I'm going to go for a little bit softer. We'll go for that first. And then what I'm going to do, because the pack is in 133, we're actually going to start on 133 tempo. And the cool thing about techno is it's really easy to program. You just basically bang a kick drum on each of those. It's not like electro where you're trying to like decide where you want to put the kicks. It's just so much easier to go like this. So there you go, we've got the kick. Let's just open the release to make sure we get the full tail. And you can always do that. Let's do that now, actually. I kind of like that. So I'm going to just open up this pattern. We'll do it so that the pattern reset is on 64, and also the change is on 64 as well. And then what we can do is we can have different lengths for each one. So for this kick drum, I'm going to do a 64, and then on the last one, we're just going to put in a classic little offbeat kick. And if you want, you can also do things like bring down the filter of that. And we could copy that and put that on 12. Let's try that. There we go, that's nice. So next we're going to go for hats. And because I'm used to the Digitakt II where drums were laid out, I kind of just used a very similar workflow. So snares, claps, closed hat, open hat. But you can hear how well produced, not to blow me on trumpet, but how well produced these sounds are. That kick already, it's like production ready to go. It doesn't need much EQ and tweaking. And it sounds fat. And the other cool thing about this pack is I also level mix them. So as you see, when we bring sounds in, they're kind of mixed already to each other, which makes coming up with tracks on the fly, or even if you're playing live and just dropping stuff in, makes it really easy to do so. I've kind of done most of the legwork for you. What I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to pop these in like this, and then we're just going to go through them like that. That's got a nice groove to it. Classic 909 hat. Kind of short, snappy one. 10's quite good. Remember 10, we'll come back to that. I just need to check actually that I'm not on loops. No, I'm in one shots, that's fine. So I've got loops for these as well. Let's just go for 10. There's loads of hats there I can go for. I really like this hat. Let's maybe mess with the effects. Let's go into the delay. Make it ping pong. One-eighth dotted, pretty cool. Let's just dampen it and get a nice groove going there. Let's see if we can get in some ghost notes maybe. So what I'm going to do is just go to amp. Take that one off. There we go, that's nice. And then what I might also do, while we're here, just try out some of the rides. So let's go down to another empty slot. Raw Techno, let's go drum one shots, rides. And the way I normally do this is if we go to the amp section, have them on the offbeat like this, but then on the 1, 5, 9 and 13, do what we just did with the hats, which is to bring them down. And then what happens is, instead of allowing the 3, 7, 11 and 15 to carry over, what it does is it stops it there and re-triggers the sample. And it's kind of like a ducking effect like we get from a compressor, which we could do using the compressor. But I just find this works really, really well for techno to get that groove going. And you can experiment a little bit and put some like little ghost notes in like this. Listen to that groove now. So what I might do with this then is bring this one out to 4 bars. On the 4th bar, once everything's copied over, paste one right there. And maybe on the 16 we'll try that as well, because that's where our kick ghost note is. So it might kind of groove nicely with that. Let's check this out. Take that one off. And I don't want it to overpower the main hat, so I'm just going to bring it down a bit, and it's just for that groove, which when we're performing with this track, we can take it out like this, and then bring it back in. test some of these out. Yeah, we'll leave that off. Just add a bit of reverb there. Just give it a bit of atmosphere. And then what I might do now is see if we want to make techno without a on beat clap. Sorry, not on beat, sorry. Yeah, it is on beat, isn't it? It's 5:13, it's on beat with a kick. Just see if we need one on there or if we can use one. Let's have a look. So let's go to drum one shots. So we've got snares as well, but I'm going to use the snares for the fills. Let's try these out. Whoops. So I want to be on there. Let's just try this. That to me is kind of like that really nice kind of like Hodge randomer type snare, where it's like really high frequency. We could use that. That's nice, 11. Nice. Wait, what I'm trying to do is like, with a groove, it's not just about where you place the sounds, but it's also the sounds that you use as well. Creates a groove with the frequencies, and I always find with techno, it's about choosing the right sample with the right decay. Like that 120 is quite short snappy, really works. But I think I might prefer, actually I don't know now, so it's either 4. See, 4's got a bit more character for me, a bit more interesting. So let's go. Just testing it out. Let's just go for that for now. Right. Let's lengthen this out again to 4 bars. And then with this one here, going to bring that frequency down. Bit too low. Stop that. Let's just hold down the trig and then just press yes to audition that trig there. And then what we can do is we can sculpt it. So let's add a bit reduction. One thing I've not done actually is normally I'd drive to every single sound in a drum kit, but because I've driven these sounds already and used like Ableton's vinyl distortion, actual real tubes and pedals and stuff, I don't really need to add too much, but we can give that a go in a second. Just see if this works, how it sounds. Just a little bit more open, I think, on the filter, add a bit of resonance. That's nice. Yeah. Right, next what we'll do is we need some percussion. So let's go to track 3, and this can be our tom. Maybe we'll try and find like some low percussion. So let's go down. And by the way, I've already made a few tracks from this pack, but I've been making a lot of electro recently. So I've had to kind of like finish some other tracks for a vinyl EP that I've got coming out on Dionysia Mysteries next year. And then there was a track for Needed Pains as well, which is coming out this month. Maybe a week or 2 after this video goes out, which I'm really excited about. So I've had to kind of concentrate on those. I haven't really made much more techno with this pack, but the tracks I did make, I absolutely loved them, and they were a breeze to make. I literally just chucked the sounds in Ableton and I was away, and it was just as easy as I'm making tracks now. I think I could make like a whole EP or a few EPs just from using this. So what I'm going to do is go to one shots. Let's go to, yeah, one shots Percs. Let's see what we've got in here. There's loads of sounds in here from low frequencies, mids and highs. And some kind of like effects sounding ones as well. That's quite cool. Let's try that. I kind of like that sound, but as like a feature sound, like a fill maybe or something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this out and put it on the 4th one, or maybe the 8th bar. But what I'm going to do now is just leave it running in a loop so that I can go in and just kind of like tweak the sound to make it work. So I want to distort it much more. So let's just... It could become a feature percussion sound actually. Just play around with this a bit more then. So I've got an idea. Let's just cancel them off. Let's go into the LFO and we'll go to frequency and we'll bring that up, and then I'm going to go to, actually that's a bit too high, random trig, slow it right down so that each trig has its own filter output. That's better. Make it a bit more tasteful sounding. And then for now, let's just get rid of that ride for now, so we can really get into the groove, like a snappier groove. Look at the swing. This one, I'm opening the amp up a little bit more. I might even try opening the decay up as well. Just take away some of those lower frequencies. That'll do for now for that sound. I might come back to that. I might tweak it a bit more, or even just kind of change it altogether. Let's add in another percussion. So I'm going to go back to the slot list. Let's take a look again at the one shots, Percs. Let's go to the bottom of the list this time. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we'll go for that. Right, so let me just... I like that. So if we just have 2 bars, yes, and then on the second bar we put that in. Or would it work better there maybe? Nice, nice hit. What I might do is it happens a bit too much, even though I really like that sound. I'm just going to put it on the 4/4 maybe. Nice. Right, so that's good. And then I'm just going to hit save so we don't lose this because it's coming on pretty nicely now. Save to project. Yep, let's just hit all these. Come back out of that. Right, so let's keep stacking stuff. I want to see what else we've got. So we've got 9. Beauty of Digitakt II now is obviously now we have more tracks, which is amazing. So the fact that we're able to add much more sounds really kind of frees this up a lot. We can add like loads of loops in there now and stuff. So we'll get to loops in a second, but I just want to add maybe one more percussion sound just to explore the percussion a bit more because there's a lot of cool sounds in here. Let's go to drum one shots, Percs. What was the one? That's the one we just added. Let's try that. I'm looking for something that I can use maybe as like that maybe. As a 16th. That's cool. Right, let's just maybe play with like the start time. We could do this actually. So I'm recorded that in, then maybe we go to amp, bring that down. Tell you what, let's just go ham. Let's put it back into live record mode, but quantized, and then mess around with everything. Mess with this. Let's get rid of the lower frequencies. What I'm going to do actually is just kind of focus in on this sound because there's something there, but we just need to kind of like tweak it a bit more. Good, so amp. Maybe that's better, just something a bit sharper. Let's try and mess with the pitch. Nice groove, right. So that can just kind of like sit behind it to help with the groove. I think that's it for just one shot percussion for now. Before we move on to loops, let's just maybe mess around with adding a snare drum. And we can use the fill trick that I often use where you hit page to add in fills on the fly. So what I'm going to do is go to an empty slot again. Let's go down Raw Techno again, and let's go to the snares. Let's try that one to start with. Oh no, I'm on the wrong. Ah no, have I just gone over the clap. Ah, I have as well. It kind of works though, but let me just go back. There we go. So I want to be on 2. That snare sound will do, that's fine. And then I'll just leave it on running on a 16th now. Maybe I'll do that actually. While we just kind of dial it in a bit. Maybe we'll just try the other ones out. Yeah, let's go a bit higher. Right, so with these, you know the drill. We just put them in like this. Or you could just put 4 in and then go to... actually, it's all changed, hasn't it? So it's different on the Digitakt II. Fill mode, and then copy, paste, 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 play. And then... let's add a bit more reverb to it. Right, let's save that. So we've got a good drum loop going. Now what I might do is just see what we've got when it comes to using some loops. So if we go down to an empty slot again, press yes, and then we will go into Raw Techno, drum loops. We could do shaker loops actually. We have got some other stuff in there as well, like rides and all that stuff, but we've done that ourselves for one-shots. Melodic loops, could use some of them. But first, I'm just going to look at the textures. So we've got some cool stuff in here. Let's just bang that in for now. Why is this not working? Let me come back out of here. Oh, it is working. Right, let's come back out there. Let's just see if we can get this fired up. Turn all them off for now. Oh, so it is working, but I just need to go to amp, bring the release up, so it's play infinitely. Let's try some other. That one works. Might come back to that one, so remember 4. I've noticed the Digitakt II when you're loading up like longer loops, it takes a while for it sometimes. It's a bit buggy, a bit slow. Let's try that one. That works as well. That's cool, let's try that. And these are a bit longer than 16 notes as well. So that will continue on, and then it'll have some more kind of glitches and stuff. That's cool, let's try that. What I like though is that one that we had before, which I think was number 4. And don't forget there's loads in here. There's 65 loops in here. And I just don't have the time to go through all of them. But there's some really cool stuff there. Let's go for this, this just works. Let's try another loop, let's try a shaker. So we could do shakers, we could do it ourselves as well. We could just kind of use drum one-shots because there's shaker one-shots in there, but we're going to use one of the loops this time, so let's try these loops. The good thing about the loops is I've already kind of created a groove with them, so it's got different velocities and different settings. So You can hear it like grooves. So what I'm going to do is just pop this one on there. Try this one first. I think I actually really liked one. Lower it down in the mix. This loop here is working really nicely, so I'm going to bring it up a bit. That's working really nicely. So we've kind of got the drums down. Might be cool to test out some melodics now. So what I'm going to do is go back into this. Let's go to an empty slot. Raw Techno. So we've got basses as well. We could try a few of these out. Not sure if they'd work with what we've got going, but we can give it a go. Let's try that one. I've just got rid of the shaker by accident, so I've done that same mistake again. We need to go to a new track, and then bring that bass line in. That bass sounded like it might actually work, so we could use that, but we'll try a few others out. Try a few others out as well. It's so laggy sometimes. There's a lot of modular sounding stuff in here. I don't know if our groove's a little bit too busy to kind of... That's cool, kind of like modular techno sound. So now we've got that bass, what I'm going to do is just play it, and then we're going to mess around a bit, maybe add a bit more distortion to it and stuff. So let's have a listen. And let me just turn these off. Go to send effects. That sounds cool. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to go maybe into the compressor settings and do some sidechain. So what I want to do is the sidechain source, I want it to be the kick. And to go into the compressor, I don't want any of these to go in. Maybe I do later on, but for now, let's just do this modular bass. And we're going to sidechain it. So we want fast attack, fast release. So you can hear it clogging up now. If we just get rid of the other sounds, you can hear the low end of the kick and the low end of the modular bass clashing on the downbeat, sorry. So if we bring that up, really pulling it out of the way. And now I'm letting it through. Nice. And then what I might also do is maybe sidechain. Might not work, but sidechain the effects. So go to compress routing, effects. Let's just bring everything else in. So that's not sidechaining the effects. And then naturally, it sounds wetter when you take the kick out now. That's the reverb, just getting rid of some of the lows in the reverb as well. And then I'm going to turn the bass up a little bit more. So let's come back to that bass. I might actually take some of the sub out of the bass as well. Let's go to the bass. I'm kind of happy with that as a techno loop. It sounds really cool. Let me just have a think if there's anything else we could add. I might just leave it there. So I might do some more of these sessions as well because they're really cool. Maybe I'll take this techno pack and do an electro track with it just to show you the versatility of the pack. Let's go to Raw Techno. So yeah, we had melodic loops as well. So we've got bass and melodic. Obviously, it's got to be in the same key. Let's just try one out and see if it works. I'm pretty sure that bass, let me go back out. What was the bass in? The bass was, is it going to show me it? B minor. So these might not work. Let's have a listen. Could always pitch it up or down or whatever. Let me just bring the release up. Kind of works. Right, let's maybe use that. Maybe we want to compress that as well, that new sound. Yes, that's good. And we could always change the groove of that by changing the length of the kick as well. So we could go into the amp settings and shorten the kick. You can hear a short kick's going to allow it to snap back quicker. So maybe now we just need to set this to a nice groove. just bring that snare drum. The compression's a little bit too hard, so what I'm going to do is just so this needs to come up. Might just bring the kick up a bit as well. And go back to that. So I think, yeah, if I was going to make this into a proper track now, it would be about the gain staging. I'd probably use like Perc 3 as well, just to kind of like see where everything's leveled off and level it. Majority of the pack is already leveled off anyway, so it's kind of almost there. But what I might do just to finish up, which will kind of maybe knock out the leveling a little bit, but it's fine. I'm just going to bring up the master overdrive and just see where we can take it. So if we just kind of save this pattern, just in case we mess it up, because I might go into the individual tracks as well and add some more distortion. So let's bring this up. Kind of choked. Let me just try again. Yeah, it sounded quite cool. Tell you what we'll do to finish off. So I'm going to save this and we'll copy and paste it and we'll create like a dirty version and see what that sounds like. So let's go copy, let's paste it here. So with this one, I'm going to go in and just create like a nasty version of it. I'm going to like absolutely tank everything. So nice, and then let's just start to bring in the other ones now. So that's fine. That's already kind of pushed. to make that hat a bit snappier as well. Add a bit more grit to the rides. Got nothing on 7. this one here, maybe we go into live mode quantize, and with the panning, get it moving around like that. Do with clearing some of these up as well. Taking a bit of low end out of them. It's not going to work because it's obviously that's not going to work because it's a loop, right? So it's got one trigger at the beginning for now. So just bring that down a bit, turn it off again. Just want to try this again. Yeah, I don't really need to add any reverb to that. This one, sorry, a bit too wet, so just add a little bit. Got a nice bounce to it. So these shakers and everything. The reason why when I kind of mute stuff is I've been really lazy actually. I've left the release right. What I should really do is on these, I'm not going to do it to all of them, but bring the release right up and then decide how many trig length, how many triggers it is in length. So obviously 16, and that just means it'll always go to the end and then cut off. So I muted it and it'll cut, whereas before it was just carrying on, right? And that's the same with all of the other ones as well, but I'll leave them for now. Let's just save this. Let's have a little play around. So I've not used Perform in a while, but let's just give it a go again. So if we go make a build up maybe, so let's go into effects, turn delay up a bit. Really long build. Let's add some. What we do is go to the kick and just turn it down, and then when it comes back in, when I take this off, it should reset it. So I can put it on now. Same with the bass as well. So Not sure if I've done that right. There we go, filter. I don't know what I've done. I meant to do that at the same time as doing mute. Probably help if I go into mute mode. I just... Don't ask me what I just did there. I just had this urge to do that and it sounded awful. There we go. Right, it's cool. I'm saving that because I really like it. I need to slow down with all this because sometimes I'm like pushing stuff by accident and I seem to do that quite a lot lately. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. It's coming up almost a 50-minute session, this, I think. But it's been really fun and I proper enjoyed that. If you're interested in getting a hold of this pack and making some techno with it yourself, the links are all in the video description below. And also, if you want to join any of my mastery classes, sorry, not mastery classes, mastery courses, because they're like really long courses. I think the Digitakt II course is about 8 hours now, including the addition to the overbridge lesson, and then also the syntax mastery courses. I can't remember, but I'm sure it's like 13 hours plus, maybe 15, 16 hours, broken down into 3 parts. And then there's also a Typhon mastery course and a Hydrosynth mastery course. So go and check all of those out on my website. And if you want to sign up to the mailing list, that will also put you on a list to receive discounts. So I often do the usual stuff like Easter time discount, Boxing Day discount, Black Friday is always my biggest discount of the year, and then sometimes, you know, I'll just send out a coupon every now and again. So yeah, it's definitely worth signing up to that, and I'll also let you know when new courses are dropping. So my name's James Orvis and I'll see you in the next video.